Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my hardcore Let's Play series. Today we are going to jump right into some exploration, because something that I'm in desperate desire of in this world is the Swift Sneak enchantment. The Swift Sneak enchantment allows me to move quicker when sneaking. It is a builder's best friend and you can only find it in ancient cities. So that's our first project for today. We're going to go and loot an ancient city in the hopes of finding Swift Sneak 3 plus a bunch of other goodies. Before we head out, I do want to craft something that I think is going to be very helpful when looting this ancient city, and that is a couple of bundles. I've never used bundles before, but I think these are going to be very helpful for all the bits and pieces of loot that I'm going to find. And there we go. One more very important thing that I'm going to need is a lot of wool. This is going to allow me to cover up any shriekers and sensors to stop me from calling out a warden. And that should just about do it. So I know that there is a jagged peaks and snowy biomes over in this general direction, and that's going to be our best chance of finding a deep dark biome. So I think all I need to do now is just pick a mountain and find a cave and see what we can find. So, full disclaimer, for this mission I am going to be using a mod called Gamma Utils. That makes my game look from this to this. I wouldn't ordinarily use something like this, but I don't use torches in ancient cities to avoid setting shriekers off, but you guys are not going to be able to see what's going on. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to be using this mod so you guys can see what's happening. But anyways, nothing in this cave. Let's try this one, which is already looking much more promising. Doesn't seem to be anything in this one either. Have to keep looking. Okay, cave number 3 and already at deep slate level, which is promising. Yes, we've spotted a deep dark. Okay, first step complete. Now to start searching for the ancient city. And that's a shrieker there. I have to be careful. Oh my god. Oh. That scared me. Alright, now that I'm over that jump scare, this is actually opening up quite a lot, so I'm going to make my way around this lava lake and see what I can find. This is exactly why I need the Swift Sneak enchantment. I am so slow. Okay, I've been at this for probably close to an hour now and still no luck, but I'm just going to keep searching this cave system until I hit every dead end and just hope that I find one. That is a lot of sensors. Quite a few shriekers here too. I need to be very careful. Just come up on another quite large opening much further down, so I'm going to see if I can get down and investigate. Even if I don't find an ancient city, this place is still really cool. Wait, that's Soulfire. That's an ancient city. Oh, I'm sure Soulfire spawns where the portals are. I think that's a city. We need to get down and investigate. And it is a city. Oh, we finally found one. Only took us close to 2 hours. Well, nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. We made it. Let's get looting. Okay, first chest. I'm just going to cover it up with wool just to be safe. let's see what we get. A new music disc, pretty cool. And Swift Sneak 2. Okay, it's not quite Swift Sneak 3, but I'll take it. Gosh, this city looks so awesome. I love the look of the portal from here. Found another chest just with a few sensors and shriekers around it, so I'm going to cover these up and see what we get. A new music disc, but otherwise nothing. Okay, there is a chest up here. And nothing really again. Curse of Binding and Vanishing. Wow. Well, there's my first Shrieker set off. Oh, the darkness effect is so cool. Not having the best of luck here. Oh, come on. I didn't know that my Elytra would set them off. I really want this skull, so just to be safe, I'm going to cover up these sensors so I can grab it. Alright, first head in this world. Apart from the dragon, of course. Oh, Swift Sneak 3! Oh, we got it. We got it. Okay, everything else from here on is just a bonus. We got what we came for. I'll take this one too. This place has such a cool vibe. How quiet it is, the ambient sounds, just the look of it. Oh, I love it. Got a couple of the disc fragments in this one. That's pretty cool. I'll take it. Found another 2 chests, but they have a lot of shriekers around them, so let's just play it safe. Any armor trims? No. Actually, I think I can just go ahead and break this one. Oh, we got the ward armor trim. Awesome. Okay, now we just have silence to go. I'll take the catalyst. And we got another music disc. Nice. Well, I've been through this entire place and looked in every chest. Unfortunately, no silence armor trim. But we did get the ward armor trim and I got Swift Sneak 3. So I'm calling that a great success. Now I've just got to figure out how to get out of here. Alright, up and away. Alright, we made it home, we survived, and we got a ton of good loot. We got Swift Sneak 1, 2, and 3 books. A bunch of saddles, got 9 of the disc fragments, which means I'll be able to make the Deep Dark disc. We got 3 other music discs. These 2 are just double ups. We got a couple of skulls, and we got a ward armor trim. First thing I want to do is make this music disc. Our disc collection is coming along nicely. So is our trim collection. But this is what I've really been waiting for. Let's put it on our pants. Oh, and I am speed. Now that that's out of the way, we can get on to the next project for today, which is going to be a wool farm. Wool is super useful for me in my world, both the block and carpet variations, so I'm really excited to have a farm for it. So the first thing for me is kind of working out the placement of the farm. I'm thinking of having a pathway branching off around the side of our mine shaft here and running straight into the farm, right around here, with the entrance being where I've put the moss carpet here. So let me map out some dimensions and see what I can come up with. Okay, so I've mapped out the general size and location of the farm now. I have the center of the farm running right alongside the mine shaft like I wanted. And I've mapped out where I want the modules of the wool farm to be with these stone blocks. So, let's get building. Alright, the first layers of the farm are complete. Now bear in mind, this farm is my own design and it is far from efficient, but that's the way that I like to do things. The way this farm works is a sheep stands on this grass block, an observer triggers a dispenser to shear the sheep, the wool falls into a hopper minecart, and then gets taken along to an auto dropper system down here. The auto dropper system will spit the wool out into a water stream, which will then take the wool to an auto sorted collection system, which I have yet to build. Now what I have here is enough for one of each wool colour, but I want the farm to be more efficient than that, so I'm going to double up and build a second layer. And just like that, a second layer to the farm is done. I built it down into the ground to avoid the farm being too high. You can see it goes all the way down there. But that's it. With all the layers of the farm now complete, I need to turn my attention to the collection system and getting the sheep in place. Okay, the collection system is done and the sheep are in place, 2 of every wool colour. I also made every layer accessible via ladders, so I can get to all the dispensers on each layer, so I can replace all the shears when necessary. So that's it, the farm is done and the collection system is working exactly as it should. With the farm now done, I can turn my attention to the build that's going around it. So, let's map out a shape. Okay, I think that's going to be perfect. I have a good idea of how I want the build to look now that I've mapped out the shape. But first, I need to get resource collecting. I have an idea of the colour palette that I want for this build, and I have virtually no resources to get it done. So, let's get collecting. That took quite a bit of time, but I should now have most of the resources I need, at least for the bulk of the build. The next step will be filling in the walls and working out the height that I want. Okay, so it looks like a big ugly box at the moment, but I'm definitely happy with the size and height that I have here. So now I can start working out how I want to decorate this build. I'm going to start with the side wall here, because this is the only wall that doesn't have anything branching out from it. So it provides me with a blank canvas for me to start working out textures and patterns. Okay, I'm absolutely loving this design so far and the colour palette that I've chosen. I really love the window design that I've got going, and I decided to break up the light texture of the calcite and wool mix for this dark feature in the middle, and I think it's come out really nice. So now I want to copy this on the other side of the build for a bit of symmetry, and then work my way around to the back and figure out what I want to do here. Let's start the time lapse. I'm loving how this build is coming along so far. The back of this build looks great. I obviously stuck to the same concept as the side of the build, but came up with some new designs to avoid too much repetitiveness. With the back and sides of this build now pretty much complete, I can turn my attention to the front of the build, which is going to be a bit trickier with this entryway sticking out and a new colour palette to work with. I think the front of this build is just about done as well. I'm really loving the stone mixture I'm working with here. It contrasts really well with the lightness of the calcite and wool mix. I ended up going with the stone mix up on top of the build as well, just to help tie in the front of the build a little bit better. I think I'm ready to start working on some roof lines and figuring out how I'm going to make all the shapes of this build work for the roof. Okay, that wasn't actually as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I'm really happy with the main shape of the roof that I've got going, and I've managed to find a good way to connect up all the other portions of the roof. I had a bit of a weird portion here where the front of the build fans out, but I think I've come up with something that's going to look really good. One thing I want to do is create a weathering effect to the top of this build, where over time the weather has worn away the bricks and worn the colouring out of the brickwork. And to achieve this, I'm going to use cherry logs. Let's get to work filling it all in. I think this whole build has come together so well, and this roof has turned out awesome. It really works well with the rest of this build, and the weathering effect with the cherry logs on top just adds that extra element. So that now marks the exterior of this build as fully complete. Actually, just one more thing to do. We have Jeb Sheep windows. Okay, now that the exterior is complete, I can turn my attention to this absolute mess of an interior. Okay, time for the big reveal. Overall, I think this interior has come out really, really nice. One thing that I absolutely love is the nether brick with the coloured concrete and glass. I just think that looks fantastic. The last thing for me to work on before I can wrap this project up is connecting it with the pathways. So I'm going to run a pathway beside the mineshaft here, running directly into the entrance of the farm. And I'm also going to have pathways that branch off either side of the farm as well. Okay guys, that is all I'm going to have time for today. I'm absolutely stoked with how this build has turned out, and I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching this far, if you have, and if you could, please leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it and it helps me out a ton. But until next time, bye for now.